The Democrats immediately took to social media after the shootings in San Bernardino to politicize the tragedy. Democrat presidential candidate Martin O'Malley was the first to tweet literally moments after the shooting. He said, "Horrifying news out of San Bernardino. Enough is enough. It's time to stand up to the NRA and enact meaningful gun safety laws." Yes, because it was the NRA, probably Wayne LaPierre himself, who walked into that conference room Christmas party and did that, right? Oh, no. Oh, well, let's blame him anyway. Then Hillary Clinton tweeted, "I refuse to accept this as normal." I don't think anyone said this was normal. Any of you think it was normal? I don't think anyone said it's normal, Hillary. That's the only problem. But then she continued, "We must take action to stop gun violence now." And even Bernie Sanders jumped on the bandwagon because none of them think for themselves. And he tweeted, "Mass shootings are becoming an almost everyday occurrence in this country. This sickening and senseless gun violence must stop." No word about Islamic terror in even one of those tweets. My next guest, who happens to be an epic tweeter who would never politicize the tragedy, is our good friend. I have missed you, Miss Elly Maye. Welcome back to America Trends. How are you, girl?
I am good. It's so nice to be back with you. How are you?
I'm good, and it's nice to have you. I'm hoping, though, I can't lie, I'm hoping for some candy cane hair action over Christmas.
Yes, Christmas would be a festive time to do that. I think that'll be good.
Yeah, one of us has to do it over Christmas, so it's you or me. I don't know which one.
I'm going to dare you to do it.
All right, Elly Maye, what's your reaction to those tweets from the Democrat candidates right after the shooting?
Oh, so many different reactions. I think, first of all, with Hillary, I think, her first part of her tweet saying we should refuse to act like this is normal, that's correct. But what this isn't just, mass shooting. This is radical Islam. It's, so if she wants to be taking action, it should be against radical Islam. And I wouldn't expect anything less from her. She knows that her base wants gun control, so what better time to bring it up? And I honestly won't be surprised if some Republicans start following suit.
The New York Daily News trending today, Elly Maye, the cover of the publication mocked Republican candidates who said their thoughts and prayers are with the people involved in the shooting. It said this: "God isn't fixing this." That's pretty disgusting, isn't it, Elly Maye?
Greg Gutfeld said that they're too chicken to write "Allah isn't fixing this," which, wow, that's pretty anti-PC. But you know what? In a sense, they're right, because in 2 Chronicles 7:14, it does say that until we humble ourselves and seek God's face and turn from our wicked ways, that until then, that's when God can heal our land. So in a sense, they're right. But what I find funny is that, in all the tweets that they're referring to when with Ted Cruz and Lindsey Graham, none of them asked God to fix this. Their immediate response was to pray for the families and the victims, which none of the left did. They took the time, to talk about the NRA, the big scary NRA. So it's just ridiculous.
Speaking of ridiculous, Democrat Senator Chris Murphy tweeted, "Your prayers should be for forgiveness if you do nothing." Again, referring to not passing more gun legislation, no doubt. What's your reaction to that, Elly Maye?
Yeah, well, he's referring to not passing more gun legislation, but he doesn't specifically say that. So when I read it, I'm thinking, what steps has he taken, to defeat radical Islam? What has he done to stop the spread of terror? And I'm guessing he has done nothing. So I'm sorry, I think this is more of a spiritual battle, and no matter how many gun laws you try to pass, it's not going to fix it. So...
Yeah, I think we've like beat that horse to death to where you think there's no way that the Democrats could not understand that. I even heard, we have a friend that we have on the show here sometimes who's a prominent Democrat, and he said, I think them resorting to this switch up of the conversation to gun violence being the problem and more gun legislation being needed is absolutely ridiculous. Rick Ungar, who's on the show often and a prominent Democrat, said that. Do you think that the way they've used this topic is resonating at all with Democrats?
I think with Democrats on Twitter who live on Twitter and only just tweet angrily, I think it resonates with them wonderfully. But with the real world, I don't think it is. And I don't think anyone thinks, what gun law is going to prevent a terrorist from getting a gun and doing this. Just because the government is going to say, hey, terrorists, don't get that gun, that's not going to stop anyone from doing that. People are afraid. I think they would like, some comforting words of, hey, we're going to defeat this enemy. We're going to take care of it. Not we're going to take away your only weapon to defend yourself. So I think people are, frustrated in the real world out here who aren't living on Twitter. So yeah, it's definitely a tricky topic.
All right, Geraldo Rivera tweeted some things we can't really repeat on the air here. He said, the Second Amendment is stupid. And he tweeted, the NRA is full of blank. This is terrorism. What do you say to that?
I think he might be drunk again. I'm just glad these tweets didn't come with a selfie this time. So that's wonderful. We're making progress. I think he's genuinely frustrated, and so is everyone else. But I don't think he understands or wants to understand that the Second Amendment is a right. So, but I get it. People are frustrated. They're angrily, expressing their rage, and the Democrats are tapping into that. And but the thing is, the agendas can wait. This is the first time people have lost their loved ones, and we have to respect that. I know this is kind of becoming more and more often, but these people haven't gone through this. This is terrible. We should be, praying for them like the Republicans have tweeted and said. It's horrible.
One of the interesting things, I believe anyway, is that the dynamic has changed so much that before we could really say, okay, well, it's mostly young Islamic men who commit these sorts of heinous acts. But at this point, he had a wife and a baby. I don't know how you profile for that even.
Yeah, and wasn't it the neighbor who said he didn't want to profile?
Yes. So much for the see something, say something. They pretty much destroyed that between that and also the little clock guy that took the clock apart. So thank you so much for being with us, Elly Maye. We are out of time. I'm so sorry. But up next, we go to